Well, good morning, beautiful. I do hope this finds you well rested, ready to begin your day. We're going to see what Spirit wants to tell you for what's going on in your life right now and what's going to be happening in the immediate future, what you should be looking out for to avoid as a pitfall. Either that, and advice as you're going through this, what to look for. And if you follow the advice as you have been going through this, what the likely outcome is. While I'm doing this, yes, your individual storyline will always be more detailed, in-depth, and intense. So if you have questions about booking your own session or any of the services I provide, go ahead and reach out in the email address or find me on a social platform and DM me. Might have a sale going on. I currently do. So ask questions about that and what this means for you. And we're going to kick this off with this as your base. Don't fight. Don't fight against this. Don't fight against the changes. This, while it looks like one of those dark and deep forests right now, the best way to get through it is to simply walk through it. It's like walking through what seems to be a dark shadow time. It's very short-lived, and I feel like it's very internal. I don't feel like this is exterior circumstances. You may be going through a heightened emotional time that's making you feel unable to move forward. We have a 5 going to a 10. So change, and something inside of you has to change in order to have these changes on the outside. Stop fighting against yourself and who you authentically are. Stop fighting against the changes that you know that you need to make in your life. It's a very teachable time right now, but I feel like you are learning lessons that you are already well aware of. You don't need to keep going through this cycle in your life. At some point you have to realize that the lesson is learned. That, I think, is going to be the emphasis towards the change. You feel like your voice doesn't matter in this. That is what's got to change. Spirit is telling you that is where we are going towards. Addressing why you feel like out of everybody, you're going to be the one who's shortchanged on it. It's not the case. Your voice does matter. Nobody has a higher up over you. It's time for you to use your quick decision making, your quick wit. I think that's actually a form of you problem solving in this, and just be completely cut through with the truth. That's where you're going to start to see the scales balance. That's what's going to bring on the ending of this chapter, whatever this is in your life. So the reason for, I guess, silencing and marginalizing yourself is to prevent strife and de-escalate the situation, but Spirit is not letting that happen anymore. It's going to push you to the point of discomfort until you're like, you want to know what? We're on the same playing ground and you're going to hear me. I have a voice. You're going to hear what I have to say. And even if you don't physically have a voice, use your sign language. Use whatever you got to get your point across. All right, what do you need to know? This has been a very heavy burden. You're getting rid of whatever the distraction is. This has been such a superficial distraction in your life. It's literally just you taking your eyes off of the elephant in the room that you need to address, which has put so much weight on your back. It's like, are we seriously just not going to talk about this? Is this not going to be a thing? Are we going to act like this isn't here, like we haven't gotten here? No. I think that the conversation is going to be happening now. I see that you have been watching this grow and push against its boundaries, its barriers even, and now it's just like, you want to know what? It's like the gloves are kind of thrown off. It's really kind of interesting for you, because I think that you're done, you've had enough, and it's like, all right, it's go time. Yeah, this is going to be something that you approach, and that seems to be very grounded, slow moving energy. Be very intentional about what seeds you are planting at this time with this, because what you're planting right now is going to go into the next chapter. What you are confronting, messages, messengers, something that is being delivered to you is going to be something that goes into the next chapter. Be very intentional with what you're setting, and I want you to defend what you are setting. Put the stakes up of what you are putting into the ground. These are things that are going to be compressed, pressured. They're going to get the nutrients that they need. They're going to get the focus that they need, the tending that they need, and then they're going to start to sprout on their own, much like a garden, wouldn't you know it? A lot of fire energy in this. This is spreading like wildfire. Once this starts growing and once you start standing up for yourself, it can't be contained. And I do feel like this is action based on wisdom and courage, confidence even. I love it. What do you need to know? What do you need to avoid? All right, so what do you need to know was the first thing that I asked, and we got the devil in reverse. There's nothing holding you back. You are breaking off of all of those chains. You're not imprisoned by anything. There's nothing that can possess you to stay in this. Whatever this is, I see that this fear factor that you've been kind of stuck to for a while, it's getting knocked off its pedestal. Its claws are not going to hold it in. If anything, I think it's going to lose anything that has kept you afraid. Now, this can be something marginal. It can be something that was completely surrounding your life. But whatever the fear is, it's being called out right now. And it's being seen as it actually is, and it's a lot less effective, and it's a lot smaller in size. It's not what you had thought. It's almost like you were completely delusioned to thinking how massive this was going to affect your life and how much control it had over your life. It built up such a storyline with you that it actually took over your view for a while. I see that you're claiming your vision back. And what you thought was, God, as big as a dragon that was burning the land around it is maybe just a little bit of a salamander. That's the comparison I'm making. It's so terrible, I know, but that's what I got. So, what do you need to watch out for in this? By the way, I'm just going to show you the cards that I'm looking for, or that I'm looking at. The cards that I'm looking at right now at the bottom of the deck is the Five of Pentacles upright. Be mindful of overindulgence right now, overspending, overindulgence in food, drink, or some sort of other habit that you seem to be locked in on. That could be anything from even over-exercising or over-hydration. God, just don't put yourself at a point of detaching from this and overindulging in things that are not going to be conducive for you. The more that you indulge and prevent yourself from feeling and being present in this moment, the longer you're going to be in that situation and you're working towards detaching from it. I'm seeing that this, for some of you, might involve physical change of address. For some of you, this is expanding on the horizon, the future endeavors. For some of you, it's something coming toward you from distance. I do see that your options, there's a few options in front of you, but two of which are behind you. So I think that you've exhausted a lot of your options. Don't go back to options that you've exhausted in your life. You have the one in your hand that you are leading the way with. You can use this to get through any situation. I do see that this is an adaptable situation. Adapt, adjust, and overcome. It's the warrior mantra, I think. You're kind of being put in the place of the warrior. You already are the warrior with everything that this situation in your life has put you through. Yeah, I would say you're kind of a warrior. Okay. What else? What do you need to know? You're looking towards shedding an old identity, and this is actually something where we have the Sun card. So these are massive changes which are going to lay the foundation for something that is youthful, charging in, and that turns its light and just its face towards optimism. See, these sunflowers always turn towards the light. They always turn towards the sun, which is actually funny because this is behind there. So I guess what this is saying is turn your face towards the light of this. Stay optimistic. You have every reason while you're going through this identity change and whoever you are becoming to stay optimistic. This is very youthful energy that's laying a very strong foundation. It is the flag that you are waving. It is the, I want to say even the enough is enough. I like this. Makes you feel like a kid again, which I think that it's really about time that you allow yourself to laugh and play. Yes, life is not without work, but it doesn't need to be what it was. So this big stick energy coming in. Okay. You're gonna rock every wave that's around you. I really see that you're gonna get and develop a sense of arrogance, and rightfully so. I see that confidence that you can overcome any situation and make it your personal. But you're juggling a lot of things, and I think that you can handle it. With everything that was breaking you in the past, I think that you can handle these new changes. Your focus is going to be in multiple directions. Don't let that scare you. It's essential. All of these numbers are going down. Your situation is de-escalating. There's 10s all over this. There's 5s all over this. So this is riddled with change. All right. Wait, I'm being pulled to a different deck, so hang on. We're going to see what this wants to tell you in regard to what to look for. Archangel Raphael. Avoid allergens. So avoid situations that cause you stress, bodily stress, mental stress, all of the stress. Anything that wrestles your jimmies. Stretch. You need to take better care of yourself. You need to be in tip-top, doesn't have to be shape. Doesn't have to be shape. No, just be your best. Do whatever it takes to be your best in that moment. Don't put yourself in a position to be in an altered state. Don't put yourself in a position to be have something held against you. Put yourself in the best situations that you can, mind, body, and spirit-wise. Get yourself moving. This is to elevate you. Don't get stuck in the cycle of avoidance of this, avoiding the work that needs to be done. You need to get yourself into a good headspace. This says meditation, but honestly, you need to understand how often you are in a meditative state. You know, if you drive or if you ride a bike or if you're doing something and your mind drifts and wanders, you're thinking about people, things, what you want to do, what you should be making for dinner. And then your brain is doing all this mental excursions and your body is on autopilot, whether it's doing dishes, whether it's sitting there, whether it's going for a walk. That's you in a meditative state. So let's change the view that we have of this. Do an activity where you can allow yourself to drift and wander and see really where those thoughts go with you. Where are you going to go with this? I do feel like This is something that is going to connect you to creative source. So as you're letting your mind drift and wander, I really want you to play with where it is going. Pay attention to where it's going and start to play with it. Now, this may involve you, daydreaming about your ideal future, your ideal partner. This might involve you daydreaming about you either going back to school or taking a class or taking a lesson, checking out a local metaphysical shop, a shop in general, maybe even going to a thrift store. See where it goes, see what you're trying to manifest. And this, I want you to use that as a base, and I want you to write down where it goes. And that's something I want you to focus on the why with. Why is this something that makes your mind goes to? Does it build you up, or is this something that makes you fearful? So as you're doing that, make some notes after. And then I want you to go back and check on that on like a daily basis for like 30 days. Add more to it and start to see how this makes a shift inside of you. You need to get your body moving. It's time for action. Divine Masculine is stepping in this, and I think that that's great. So I want this card too. Yeah, it's time to detoxify from life. Get your body flowing. Start purging out all these toxins from your body. I'm not a doctor, not a dietitian, not a therapist, not diagnosing anybody or giving medical advice. Understand that. What this is saying is get yourself into a good headspace and a good physical space. Avoid stuff that is going to alter your reality and stuff that is going to get you to stay put and stuck. It's time for you to start elevating your energy. So if you follow this advice, the likely result of this is going to be, putting you in a position to share your insights with others. It's going to put you in a teaching position. It's also going to have others look to you for advice. It's going to get you to be healthy in your Divine Masculine role and be emotionally stable. I see that you are going to be centered, at peace, zen, and I see that this is going to open up more opportunities for you. And so then we have the Hierophant, we have the King of Cups, the Four of Wands. You're not jumping foolhardily into something. You're finding your grounding, and it's allowing you to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Your change in the way that you view things is really what's going to unlock opportunity. You're going to start to see these opportunities rising up. So, what does this mean? You have a choice that you got to make. It's decision time. You have changed, and that is completely evident. I see action swiftly coming in. Now, these are going to be people who are helping you in this situation, and these are people that you can trust. This might be some sort of soul contracts that are coming into play, but you have to make a choice with it. This is a time for expansion, and I see you going towards that. Don't get stuck in a vicious cycle. You're not jumping foolhardily into something. There is a reason to celebrate in this. And this, you can manage the situation. The changes that you're making are going to allow you to heal because it's taking you away from what it is that has hurt you, whether the mindset or the actual physical situation in your life. I see that you are looking back at the past, and I see that you're kind of bapping it on the head with this because look, this guy's looking towards the past. And this down here is representation of the soul bonds and contracts that are coming in. So these are people who you have had deep soul bonded connections with in the past, whether it's this life or a previous life, and these people are coming forward to open up new doors for you. And it's you who has to decide what doors you're going to walk through. But in all of it, it is about your change and your expansion, and it's about being completely open, honest, and truthful, and using that throat chakra of yours. You might actually be noticing that you've been clearing your throat a lot more recently, and allergies have been kind of rampant. This is opening up the floodgates on that. So what I'm seeing here is understanding that you're well versed in this and that you're more than capable, and that this is all to celebrate you and to expand with you and growth. That's when you're going to start to see that this is an adventure and there is a light at the end of the tunnel with this. So Final card, Spirit. How are you going to feel about this? The Empress is in reverse. Ugh, you and your insecurities. How does this one show up? Okay. Tower moments. Don't you love getting that card? God, as somebody who's been reading tarot for well over 20 years, it's like, you learn to love it, really. Sometimes you just gotta laugh. Okay. Let's see. Ending old projects. Tower moments are ensuing. This is closing off an old cycle and handling the abandonment issues that has kept you in the old cycle. Because the tower moments are drop kicking you into alignment with fate and with destiny. It's not cruel. Stop holding on to things that are no longer meant for you. Your path is pushing you to destiny, to fate. It's going to be better. I promise. So, if you have questions about booking a session and getting more detailed, in depth, and intense, go ahead and send me a DM and ask about any sales that are going on. Ask about any of the services I provide. I look forward to hearing from you. I hope that this finds you well. I hope you have a magnificent day and the immediate future that this is talking about. It's going to be a wild ride. It really is. I really am excited about this, even though it kind of seems like I'm tired. Not necessarily tired. I'm excited about this. It's just late right now. Okay, you go do your thing. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great one. Bye. So, if you're coming across this, maybe this is a spirit message for you. Listen with an open heart and an open mind. There's maybe a reason why you have come across this, maybe why you were pulled to it. But we're not going to know until we get the message. All right, what do you need to know? All right, Wheel of Fortune's making a grand appearance. Awesome. The wheel is turning again. We're on a new cycle. It feels passionate. It does feel passionate. The reason why I'm saying that is because this bad boy right here is standing out to me for this particular reading. What's this new passionate cycle about? Can I get some insight without taking half the cards with you, deck? That would be great. I need to know. So, all right, you want to? Fine, I'm going to take those. All right, be very careful about what you are putting your intentions on right now. It's gonna look good, it's gonna look healing, and it's gonna look like it is something that is going to break you. No, don't let this make you feel like you're going to break and run, that you're dodging something. You're staying away from anything that is overwhelming right now. I think that's great. I also think this is a time to be maybe held accountable. Accountability is a major card right here. Judgment. What are you judging? What is the judgment about? I do feel like for some of you, this judgment, don't let the word scare you. Not all judgment is bad judgment. It is accountability, but I think that that's a good thing. Intimidation. All right. So what I'm getting from this is, listen, some good things are happening in your life and you're afraid you're about to be punished for it. No, you can dance with your people. You can dance with your tribe. You can dance with your love. This is a time to celebrate. You're not going to be having something, well, you're not going to have something thrown in your face. You're not going to be belittled, marginalized, humiliated. It's a major time of healing, and whatever apprehensions or whatever triggers are coming up right now, they're coming up to be healed because it has nothing to do with this ball rolling and you getting greatness. It's letting go of the old paradigm, the old storyline on it. So the fears are going to be along with the success, but it's for you to call them out and understand that it has nothing to do with where you are going. Take two. Kiddo came in asking for a snack when really he should have been in bed. But anyway, that's parenthood for you. So what I'm seeing here, this is the set of cards that came out beforehand. Somebody is avoiding, well, they're avoiding judgment. They're avoiding being called out on something. There is a point of deception. They're trying to move on and heal without actually acknowledging what the situation entailed. It does feel like bypassing. It's not going to happen though. I do see healing coming, but what this situation is involving, it's time for you to drop the burden, lay the burden to rest. You're not sure what the outcome is going to be with this, but anything is better than holding on to something and acting like it didn't happen in your life. So, this came out again. Interesting. This feels like somebody who is dancing around the truth, like giving half truths, and they're not getting to the point, juggling one too many things. Honestly, the weight of the world is going to come crashing down on this situation where facts have to be laid out. This would be a lot easier, and I really don't think that this is you, but if it is you, just understand that you can't just forget something happened. You can't just bypass it. Obviously, start where you are and work through it, but for somebody to have such a disservice in your life, pretending that something didn't happen, it feels like it's gaslighting you, it's going to be thrown in their face. And the truth will be revealed. And that feels incredible. I feel like this is a weight off of you, and it feels like this is giving you a sense of victory, a sense of validation. And I see that a major karmic lesson. I do feel like you held on incredibly tight to this situation. It had a very strong hold on you for a very long time. But now that karmic debt has been paid off. You are going to get validated, and I see victory for you. Whoever was dancing around this, withholding the truth, hiding the truth, lying, gaslighting, all that, it's going to be brought forward. So understand it is to be relieved of the situation, and that's where the healing will actually happen for you. So breathe. Don't let intimidation scare you off. It's not going to work out in the intimidation's favor. And know that you will be taken care of in a very positive sense. Well, if you're coming across this, the Mermaids and Dolphins Oracle deck want to give you a message. The bottom line of this, alchemy. What is alchemy? Well, we're about to find out. You have the Midas touch right now. In every project you begin turns to gold. So be careful what you're touching, what you're putting your focus on, because either it's going to be weighted down by the heaviness, or it's going to be completely, well, high in value, precious, beautiful, blingy. What do you need to know? All right, out with it, Spirit. You wanted the alchemy to be the base of this? Great. Contemplation time. Ooh. Spend time alone meditating upon what you truly desire, and be honest about what it is that you desire, not about what anyone else desired, not what's going to benefit everyone else. What do you want? What do you want? This is very heart healing, and it's honest. And then we have friendship. So make a play date for one with more friends. Get your mastermind group together. Have your like-minded people who are going to support you. Let's make this dream of yours a reality. I feel like it feels like a massive manifestation time, and you're about to see some miracles take place. You're about to see some things really get physical in front of you, and I love that. This feels incredible. When people are like-minded and support you, it does make things easier. Sometimes that's impossible. I understand. Sometimes it feels like you do have to do things alone. And honestly, it is you who has to walk through the door. But guess what? You got your cheerleaders there for you. A ton of synchronistic events, either words, numbers, symbols are showing up before you. And it is giving this sense of feeling in connection to what it is that you're trying to manifest. It is affirmation that your prayers are being heard and answered. And not only are you going to get what you want out of this life and of this situation, whatever it is that you're looking for, it's probably going to be better than you anticipate. So let's see. The main thing I'm seeing is mother healing on this. You have to understand that you are deserving of this. Stop watering it down for other people to assess your value. I think that's been the hugest boulder in front of you so far. Letting other people give you an assessment. No, you're far more valuable than you ever thought possible. And now you're going to have that validation in front of you. rest. It's time for you to recharge your batteries and set your sights higher. Waves of prosperity. Oh, I always get on such a wave with this because I love it so much. You are going to have some amazing doors open in front of you. Rest, allow yourself to recharge your batteries, and just know that this is going to work out far better than you expected. Set your expectations higher. You got the touch right now, baby. All right, let's think of a loved one who is on the other side watching over us. The first person who's coming to mind, either that or we're going to get a message from your main spirit guide. Listen with an open heart and an open mind. Maybe this has something that you are going to be getting an answer on. Okay, what do you need to know? What does your guide want to tell you? Your guide, your loved one. Let's see, could even be your pet, your dog, it could be your turtle. Spirit communication. What is the energy that they are trying to deliver to you? Dearest you, sometimes it's wonderful to give, but there are times when you might find yourself over-giving. Now might be a good time to check in and see what you might be cutting off, that you might be cutting off the flow of abundance. Let others give to you even though you are more comfortable being the generous and being the giver, the healer, the rescuer. In the art of living, we sometimes overlook an important skill, receiving gracefully and with gratitude without diminishing yourself or trying to deny vulnerability or bringing an agenda of equality to it. Receiving is hard for some people, maybe you. You do not need a this for that in exchange with others. You are doing good in the world, and let the world give back and support you. Then you can give up the old stories that have convinced you that you have to do everything alone and with no help. Let your well be filled. I said this in a previous reading tonight. Go check the one that's right before this. This is wild. Hey, you. If you're coming across this, maybe this is a spirit message for you. We're using Wisdom of the Oracle from Colette Baron Reed. What does Spirit want to tell you right now? What's the good word? Let's see, what is going on? All right, out of the Spirit, first card out of the deck. Are you overgiving? Too much in your yin, you got to be a little bit more in the yang. I'm seeing that this is talking about being a little bit oversaturated in the divine feminine aspect. Maybe you're feeling overly emotional, on edge, and it's time for you to claim back your authority in life. Let's see, what else do you need to know from Spirit? Ooh. There are no shortcuts. There's a lot of laws of the universe in effect right now, nothing that you can bypass. It's time for you to see the cracks in your own foundation rather than trying to overcompensate for them in other areas. The best way through this is to fix what you perceive to be the weak link in your chain. Let's see. It's not going to do any good to deflect and focus on everyone else and how you can be of service to them when you are suffering as it is. It's time for you to let go of that situation and address what's going on with you. You're not going to be able to move on until you do so. And that's where the feeling of stuck is. Are you always going to have to be this person for everyone else? The answer is no. I see you being able to shine through with your truth and be completely upfront, open, and honest, and even vulnerable with this. So it's time for you to start believing that you're not going to be karmically in debt or be dealing with some sort of horrible karma coming into your life because you are perceiving yourself to be some sort of monstrosity just based off of what you are seeing as the cracks in your foundation. You are really hard on yourself when you need not be. So this is a point of taking the focus, taking your power back and putting it on you to build yourself in strength, grow stronger, put your best foot forward. It's actually something that is going to be confidence building with you and output building with you. And it's going to be encouraging for others. So it's something to work on right now, but you're worth it. I want to get a love message. I want to see what's going on with love. Whether you are single and looking, whether you already have a wonderful relationship, whether you're looking at reconciliation. I love you. These are powerful words, which I don't take lightly. I don't know about you. I'm never about just seeing where things go. No. Either you're all in or all out. That's just my personal thought. I'm not putting that on anyone else. So what do you need to know? Let's see. Looking at love. I love you. These are powerful words and no other cards. Thank you. That was nice. Okay. I was getting nervous there. Okay. Listen with your heart. Be in the present and dream of the future. Slow down. All right. Something is unfolding in your life. There is love around you. So what I'm seeing is this is going to reveal itself to you. There's either this expansion of your relationship in the future. We have the pyramids in here. This is very deep soul bonded energy. You're listening, but you also need to actually hear and ingest all of this with a loving heart. What is the heart trying to say? Don't analyze it. Go with your feeling on this. There's a lot of trust that needs to be given right now, which I think that you need to understand that Spirit does love you. That's not playing with you to be cruel in any of this. There is a shift that is happening in the love department, and it's a deepening, and it's something that needs to be revealed. And the love that you are feeling and that you are hoping for is going to be this that unfolds inside of you. And I do see that this is something that is going to be either revealed by person, or you're going to realize what love actually means to you. Listen with your feelings. Listen with your heart. If you're coming across this, maybe this is a spirit message for you. Let's listen. Let's see what's up. Let's see what's the DL on the LD. I don't know. All right. Missing off the shuffle. Whee! Moving on to calmer waters. Yeah, it's not going to be as rough as it has been. And this is involving relationships. Okay, don't hang your head down low. I know that something new is going on in your life. That's fine. Pick your head back up. You are walking away from something because you have been changing. Okay. You're leaving something behind, and I think that you're taking one cup with you because there's a space in here. You're about to leave with this one cup, fill it up, and ooh. Yeah, you're gonna fill this up. This is something that I feel it might be happening rather fast for you, and it feels like it's an earth energy, and it's a motherly energy, very unconditional, nurturing, a lot of nurturing going on in this, and I don't see you holding back from any of it. Something has been at a standstill and a pause with this. Do not know it. This is definitely involving personal relationships. I want to pose a question to you. What do you want from relationships? Okay. All right. For some of you, communication is slowed down because you have been chained to something else in your life. And now I see that is coming to a close, and you're starting to see something get revived in your life. And I think that it was a situation that you had been involved in, something that stopped growing. And I do feel like you are moving towards those calmer waters, and that you've been through absolute anguish with this. And now, look, we have the Star card. So there's reason to hope in the revival of whatever this is. I see that you are moving on. I see that you're letting something go, moving towards something else, weirdly enough. Don't look at it as hopping. It's not. I want to get a final card on this. This can actually be a reconciliation of friends, family, or a particular intimate person in your life. You have to be swift moving actions. Cut through to the chase. Be honest, be open, be transparent, do it quick. This is honoring what's in the back. And also we have this. Don't overthink it. Don't get lost in your thoughts. It's time for you to make some action in your life. There's a lot of There's a lot of healing that needs to happen. There's a lot of things that need to be said.